Wow. Prism Live Studio was instant. That's interesting. Doesn't normally happen that way. We'll see if we get anybody. Oh, live and on the air. Woohoo! Hello, Italian princess. Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I I'm parking my truck. I'm turning in my trailer tomorrow or the next morning after I get this load delivered, and then I'm parking my truck. I can't I can't keep going. I've operated in the red for the last 9 months. I can't do it any longer. I've got another job, another couple jobs actually lined up. I've got job interviews coming Monday morning. Uh, Still going to be stuck doing it locally, and that means I'm not going to be able to get out and go to a lot of the events that I had planned on going to. I'm also not going to be able to. I'm really not going to be able to go to hardly any events unless they happen to be local to the Northwest. Um, doesn't mean I'm going to stop. It does not mean I'm going to stop streaming. I'm going to continue on with my stream. We're just going to be shifting gears a little bit. You'll be seeing a lot more of the local area here, um, for the most part. And my participation in some of the events is going to be, well, I guess most of the events, considering the area I live in, there aren't hardly any events coming at all. So, yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you do realize one less truck on the road for every trucker you know that is parking their truck and walking away. Uh, there's at least 100 more. Uh, FedEx just released a statement out to the public that they're going to be parking a certain amount of their trucks because they can't afford to keep them running. We're talking about a big company is also at a point where they're parking trucks. So it's amazing I lasted this long in this bull crap with Brandon. I know I've had a few people that have called me up, or they've gotten a hold of me and said, "Hey, give me a call." And I've got a couple of people that wanted to come up with options. Because see, the real reason behind all of it is, I've got maintenance that is due on my truck that I know has got to be taken care of, and I don't have the money for the parts. I've got the fact that this truck's got 1.5 million miles on it, which means it's either going to need a new engine or a rebuild really soon, and I don't have the money for that. The company that I've been using the trailer from wants the trailer back, which means I'd be stuck without a trailer and running power, which pays a lot. And if I can't make with what I have been hauling with a trailer, I'm not going to be able to make it at all without a trailer. So I've had people calling and saying, "Hey, you just go pick up a trailer somewhere and we'll pay for it. Well, we'll make the monthly." I can't do that. I can't. In good conscience, I can't do that. What happens if we did that and 6 months down the road or 2 months down the road, the engine in this thing blows out and I need to rebuild it and I don't have the money for it? Not to mention, how would I be paying you back if I can barely afford to feed myself, let alone keep the truck running in this current economy? How in the world would I be able to pay you back for what you put into a trailer for me? That's not going to work. I can't do that. I cannot take on more debt than I already have. And the debt that I have is pretty substantial. So my only option right now is to park it and take a local job. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to finish this load off tomorrow. I've got eight deliveries to make. 8 different Lowe's stores that I'm going to go to in the Seattle area. Then I'm going to go and turn over the trailer, and then I'm going to deadhead to the other side of the state, park my truck on the back of my dad's property, and walk away from it. Leave it sitting there all by itself in the back corner of the property. I'm gonna have to sell off a few of my Second Amendment toys so that I can go out and buy a second vehicle, so that I'm not interfering with my wife and kids in the use of the one vehicle that we do have. Cannot see how I can make any money and be profitable at this point. I just can't see it. So now I have to have somebody breathing over my shoulder 10 hours a day, 4 to 5, 6 days a week, instead of me being able to run my own. But on the bright side, I get to be home with my kids more every day. It's going to pay $37 an hour, 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. If I choose to do 5 or 6 days a week, that's my choice also. They don't limit anybody to the overtime. Full benefits, not just partial benefits where, like if the place is providing benefits and you have to pay like $200 a month into it type of thing, this is full benefits. I don't have to pay a dime into it. And there's also 401k with matching, and quarterly bonuses. So it's good pay, and I'd be stupid to ignore it. I just don't know if I can handle being a company guy for very long. Um, but we'll see. We will see. All I know is I'm at a point right now where I can't move any farther with this economy the way it is. So yet another truck shutting down because Biden put us out of business. Right. And right now I'm already in debt. Um, I owe about probably somewhere between $7,000 and $10,000 to the company I leased onto for my plates and permits and everything else. And I still owe another $2,700 on my hood that I've been making payments on. I'm still going to I'm still going to pay all that stuff off. It's just I can't do it and run my own truck at the same time. Not with the fuel prices as high as they are and the freight rates as low as they are. I just can't. Especially not when my truck is at a point in its life where it's requiring more parts, more money right now to keep her going, and it's not very far away from getting to a point where it would be an engine replacement or an engine rebuild, and you're looking anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 just to do that, and that's money I do not have, and I am not willing to put myself in more debt to try to get out of the debt that I'm already in. So yeah, we're going to be parking the truck and walking away. But hey, metal recycling is, I guess, far more needed than food, because, those are the jobs that are available, and they're hiring like mad, and they're paying good, really good for what they are. So I guess that's more. I guess recycling metal is more important than making sure the stores have everything they need to feed the people, right? Yeah. I know I never told any of you how much in debt I was at the beginning of all my live streams way back. I've never said a word about it, but I can tell you, at the beginning, when I decided to change from one company to another, the moment I did that, I was instantly in debt for almost $20,000, just like that. I've got it down to $7,000 that I have left owing on that, and I still owe on this hood. This hood cost me almost $6,000, and I've got it down to $2,700. Is what I have left to pay. So, problem is, like I said, without a trailer, I'm not going to be able to make that kind of money and be able to even eat, let alone maybe get the parts I need to keep my truck running between now and whenever. And there's no guarantee my truck will stay running long enough to even get out of that. So, like I said, it's time to park it. Biden killed it. No. Then also there's quarterly bonuses. There's also quarterly bonuses. Just $37 an hour. plus all the benefits, plus overtime. Yeah, I can be a company guy until we get a complete reversal of the damage that has been done to our country's economy by our current demander and thief. And treason. He's a treasonous demander and thief. I mean, he literally ordered the FBI to go into Trump's place. He ordered the FBI to do that. That right there is treason. That is assaulting and attacking a possible political opponent. And that is a treasonous crime. Not counting his executive orders, those were treasonous too. Those were violations of his oath of office, especially closing the pipeline. Violation of his oath of office. And he did that day one. So yeah, this isn't the end. I'm not going to stop live streaming. I'm not going to stop live streaming. But as far as being an owner-operator and running my own business and running my own truck down the highway, that's come to an end. Over the next 2 days, this will be the last time this truck will be on the road for quite a while. And if things turn around and it gets to where I can put this truck back on the road, I'm going to make sure that she's fully repaired and fixed and everything else, full engine back on the road. So there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's the sun's directly in my face on the left, and so I got my sunglasses on. I can't really read the screen that well. So I don't know what y'all are saying, but I didn't say anything earlier. I've known for a couple of days now, and I've been making plans and making decisions. I've got the interview Monday morning. I'm going into it with the thought in my head that I've already got the job. Mainly because if I don't, the likelihood of me having the confidence enough is pretty high. I won't. It's all about how you perceive yourself and what's really going on when it comes to whether you have the right amount of confidence in a interview or not. And I'm pretty sure I've got this job already if I want it. So not a problem there. And the big thing is, when I was talking to them on the phone over the last 2 days, they're kind of shocked that someone with my kind of experience, my amount of experience, is even looking at their job as a possible position to go for. They don't normally have people that have this kind of years of experience that I do applying for that job. As a matter of fact, they don't have anybody even working there that's had as many years of experience as I do. So they're kind of drooling, I guess, right now. That's why I'm saying I've got the job if I want it. But yeah. Oh yeah. And even if that falls through, there's tons of jobs available in the area for truckers right now. The problem is, each one of them pays less than and has worse benefits than the one I'm going to, or the one that I'm trying for first. Um, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Oh, I did. We had a long conversation about, he was. That's what started the conversation, was the fact that he's used to seeing mostly people that are fresh out of CDL school, or maybe have 1 or 2 years of experience applying for the job. He's not used to somebody coming in and applying for the job that's got 24, 25 years experience, and he wanted to know why. So I told him. I told him exactly how things are, uh, and why I'm doing this. Um, and he understands, because back in the 80s, he was an owner operator. So, and he had to hang it up back then. So he knows where I'm coming from. I mean, all this time I've been bringing on more debt. I had been bringing on more debt, trying to stay in operation, and truck keeps breaking down on different little things, and I'm having to keep fixing it, which is costing me time and money. Um, the time that it costs is also money, basically, because that's time that I could have been out on the road earning money instead of sitting there not making anything and actually spending money to fix it. Um, you know, so every little thing over the last couple of years has been just beaten down, beaten down, beaten down. I don't know how many more signs I need to tell me that I've been beating a dead horse. So, but at least I own the truck. I don't have to make any payments on the truck. I don't have to do anything with the truck besides park it and maybe come back to it someday when things are better. So, yep. Yeah, no, I don't know what to do other than what I am doing. There are people out there that, like I said, have tried to offer me deals where they would be paying for my trailer, until such a time when when the economy comes back and I'm stable enough to be able to take over and repay them. First of all, take over the payment on the trailer and then repay them what they put into it. The problem with that is, like I said, 2 months down the road or 6 months down the road, the engine goes out, and I have to come up magically with 20,000 or 50,000, somewhere between, to rebuild the engine, and I don't have it, and I won't have it as long as the economy is the way it is right now. I can't take that risk. I cannot take on any more debt. I just can't. Oh, the other thing is, I think there's like I don't know if I read it right or not, but I think it's like a $15,000 sign-on bonus with this place. So, and I think you got to be with them for at least 6 months or a year or something before you get it. But hey, even if I misread it and it's not $15,000, or there isn't one, it, maybe I was remembering it from a different ad that I was applying for. I don't know, but even at that, the amount of pay that I'd be getting is definitely worth it. And it'll be beneficial for my kids for me to be home every day and only be working 4 days a week, so I get 3 days off and can spend the time with my kids every week. Something that they haven't had ever in their life. Daddy hasn't really ever been home more than 15 days a year on average. And, you know, they're 16 and 17 years old now, so I've missed most of their life so far. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And what really sucks is I've got the guy that I was leased onto here. He did not want me to have any fuel surcharges on my settlements or on my loads, simply because it cuts into his bottom line. You know, he kind of chewed me out for having fuel surcharges on some of my loads, because legally he can't touch the fuel surcharge. He's got to pay it to me, even if the load, even if I was going to get paid less than that for the load, he's still got to pay me the fuel surcharge. He can't touch it legally. And that's, you know, I know where my bread is buttered. If you're going to be dicking with my pay, I'm gone. In order for me to be able to be successful and feed myself, let alone my family, yeah, I'm gone. Just like that. So, like I said, I'm at a point right now where I don't have a choice but to park the truck. Hi, Queenie. I'm going to be parking my truck and walking away from it. I cannot afford to keep going. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop live streaming. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep fighting for freedom one way or another. I'm going to keep you guys informed on things that are going on all over as best I can. And if by some miracle in my little corner of the woods we end up having some kind of freedom event, I'll be there. But knowing where I live, the chances of us having one, slim to none. So, there's that. I wish I could come up to Canada. I can't get my truck across the border for two reasons. One, it's the insurance, the bonding and all of that. And two, I don't have the jab. I don't have proof of jab. I don't have jab. I don't have any of that. And three, you know, our wonderful government down here has me listed as a domestic terrorist because I took part in the People's Convoy, which also will keep me from being able to go through and come into Canada. I wish I could, because I love it up there. The people up there are much nicer than most of the people down here in the States. Not counting most of my viewers, but, you know, most of the people in this country are all about themselves and don't care about anybody else. And they act like it in every aspect of their lives. The Canadians aren't like that. The Canadians have a lot more manners and a lot more care for the people around them overall. Not to mention the land up there is so much cleaner, so much more pristine, and there's a lot more room. Give me a second. Wow. That's that biker church? Is that biker church that they're evicting right now? Queenie, is that the biker church they're evicting? Oh no. Which one is this one? Which one are they doing right now? I'm sorry. When a government can step in and evict a church off its own property, we have a major problem. I'm surprised, Queenie, that the Canadians are not jumping up, grabbing up arms, and marching right now. I am really surprised that they're sitting back and allowing their government to attack their churches. Well, I really hope so, Queenie, because what your politicians up there are doing is just plain wrong. Now, how many times is this guy going to try to leapfrog me only to go slower than what I'm going in the long run and have me pass him again? How many times? Nah, I ain't letting you do it this time, brother. You can go ahead and hit me. By all means, you can go ahead and hit me. Buy me a whole new truck so I don't have to go through all this parking my truck shit. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. That this kid is spending more time playing with his phone and not paying attention than he is driving. Because watch, I'm going to start catching up to him, especially after this next hill. And I'm not changing my speed. I've got my cruise control set. Now what's happening? Somebody's asking what's happening. I've reached a point where I have no choice but to park my truck and walk away from it and take a local job. I can't afford to keep going. I just can't. I've been operating in the red for over 9 months. It's reached a point where it's no longer it's no longer feasible to keep going. Not from a financial standpoint. Oh, definitely, definitely. Queenie, go ahead and drop links to your channel. Well, see, the sad truth there, Queenie, is the fact that I already know more than 300 other owner operators personally that have already parked their trucks and walked away because they couldn't keep going. We also have the big company FedEx and Amazon that have come out with in the news with what is it? News releases, press releases, stating that they were going to be parking anywhere from half to 75% of their trucks because they could not afford to keep them going any longer. We're talking about big, big supersized companies that are now parking 50% to 75% of their trucks. I'm surprised I lasted long enough to see them start parking their trucks before me, because I'm just one man. But Queenie, go ahead and start dropping links for your channel. Share your channel in here. Oh yeah, oh, I'm gonna be fine. One way or another, we're like cats. We always land on our feet, even if we land all the way at the bottom. Well, that's fine. We just got to start climbing back up. There's nowhere else to go from the bottom, right? Um, I'm going to continue live streaming. I'm going to continue getting the information out there. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. But I'm making a financial career business change. I have to park my truck. Yeah, and you know, your nephew, if they're parking your nephew's truck, that means your nephew doesn't have a job anymore. G-Gab, it's nice to see you. But yeah, this is the last load that I am hauling as an owner operator. I'm going to deliver tomorrow 8 different Lowe's stores in the Seattle area, and then I'm going to take the trailer over to where I got to deliver the trailer to the people that own it, and then I'm driving to the other end of the state to my dad's place to park my truck on the back of his property and walk away from it. Yep, Whidbey Island, huh? I love driving out there. I just don't like doing it in my truck because I've got the extra stretch on my tractor, which makes me like 8 feet longer than most semi trucks. So it's a little tight quarters for me in there, but I do enjoy going out on that island. Yeah, Queenie, please drop links to your channel in here. Because for some reason when I click on your name, it doesn't bring up a channel for me to go to. All right, hang on. Well, I'm just gonna have to try to get to it later because it's not letting me do anything with it. Uh, Well, Queenie, we have to stick together no matter whether we're in different countries or not. We're all fighting for the same thing in the end. And if the live streamers, like you and myself and others, can't get along and share the information with each other, then what good is it? I firmly believe that we should all be sharing each other's channels out regularly. So, let me see if I can type it in while driving here. After I get this car out from next to me, so I can get around these idiots. These guys are doing 50 down a hill that we're supposed to be doing 60 on. No, you ain't cutting me off, Assmont. So I'm not letting him do it. There you go. All right, Queenie, I just posted my email into the hear me right now. Like I was saying, Queenie, I just posted my email address. I need you to send me an email with your channel information and other contact information if you choose to, so that I can follow you as well. Because I don't know if the comment strain will even post to this video, depending on things. Because some of my live streams, the comment channel gets posted. Others, it seems to not be there. It's just weird. It's YouTube doing their thing, you know what I mean? But definitely, I'll take a look, get subscribed to you, and I'll get you my contact information if you want it. And I'm still going to keep live streaming, like I said. Even though I'm going to be parking my truck and walking away, I'm still going to be live streaming. I'm still going to be pushing that information out. Yep. So it doesn't matter that I'm changing my career choice at the moment, going from being an owner-operator and running my own business to being a company driver again on a local route that'll be somewhat monotonous and continuous. I'm still going to be live streaming, and I'm still going to be out there. I'm going to hate every minute of it, because now I'm going from having nobody breathing down my neck when I'm out there working every day to having 10, 15, 20 people breathing down my neck all day long. But it's something I've got to do because I cannot afford to keep going any longer. You know, and like I said, you've got FedEx and you've got Amazon that are parking trucks now. They're parking a very large amount of their trucks because they can't afford to keep them going either. And realistically, a small one-man operation like myself, I should have been put out of business a year or two before a big company like that. Well, Rosie Rowe, you're taking a ride with me on the last load that this truck is going to pull as an owner operator for however long it takes to get our economy back under order. I'm going to have to deliver the load tomorrow at 8 different places, take my trailer in and turn it in, and then drive my truck to the other end of the state and park it on the back of my dad's property and walk away from it. I'm going to have to take a regular job or a local job. Still going to be driving truck, still going to be live streaming, just got to make a change. As I cannot continue to watch my bank account go negative each week farther than the week prior. It's gotten to a point where no matter what I do, the math doesn't add up. There's no way that I can see to come back without parking it for a while, taking a regular job, waiting for the economy to return back to normal, which means we have to wait for a complete political regime change. And we have to wait for all of those things that damaged our economy to be fixed by that new regime before I'll ever be. Yep, my days as an owner-operator right now are over. Over the next 2 days, this is the last that you are going to see me driving this truck. Well, maybe 3 days. It may take me all day tomorrow to get the load delivered at 8 different stops and then go get the trailer delivered. And then I'll probably find a place to sleep overnight and then finish taking my truck out to my dad's the next day. So between now and Friday is the last that I'll be out here as an owner operator. And you know, these last couple of days, making the decisions that I've been making the phone calls I've been making, and putting things into and make this change seamlessly. I haven't been crying. I've just been numb. I'm just numb in my stomach because I'm watching the death of my American dream thanks to Brandon. I'm literally living in the death of my dream. So, yep. I've got a job interview for a trucking position for a local Monday morning. That's going to be paying $37 an hour, four 10-hour days a week. If I choose to work 5 or 6 or 7 days out of the week, they're not going to stop me from doing it because they do not restrict on overtime. It's 100% paid benefits. So the only thing I got to worry about is a copay, probably. There's a 401k with matching. So if I were to put $2,000 a month into my 401k, $1,000, and so it's basically $4,000, right? So they're matching. I don't have a limit on how much I want to put in as to how much they'll match. So if I put in $10,000 in a month, they'll put in $10,000. You know, there's no limit to that. I also get company stock. I'll be getting quarterly bonuses, paid time off, just it's just a job that I really cannot refuse right now, even though I never could see myself being a company guy again, and I really don't want to be a company guy again. But I can't keep going and looking at my bank account being negative every week, no matter how much money I bring in, because it's costing me more to run than I'm being paid. I don't think anybody in this country realizes that the food on their grocery store shelves is being delivered literally out of the graciousness of the truck drivers' hearts, simply because we're not getting paid what it really costs to get it there. In other words, we're paying out of our own pockets to get it there, to keep you fed. That's why that's why the people in this country have yet to see what's really coming, because they haven't seen their store shelves go completely bare yet. But we're there. It's coming. Because now you have big companies that are parking trucks too, not just us little guys. And it baffles me that I can get a job still driving a truck for a metal recycling plant, and it pays so well, but there's no jobs out there for people hauling the groceries around. You know, anybody hauling food or you know, any of that kind of commodity out there. There's no jobs out there available for that. But trucks are parking left and right, so there's less of them out there to deliver them. Why? Why is it that they think metal recycling is more important than food? Yep. Not just England. It's happening in Denmark, in France, in Sweden, in Germany. It's happening in New Zealand and Australia and New Guinea. It's happening all over the world. It's just taken a bit longer for America to get there. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we are a much bigger country, and our economy was stronger than most of the other countries. Even though, for the most part, I believe that our economy was just pretty much nothing more than an inflated balloon anyway. That's right, it's happening all over. Yep. So I don't want to break anybody's hearts, especially not my viewers, but I may have to take a break from live streaming just a little bit till I get things situated and figure out exactly where I'm going and what I'm doing. I do hope and pray, and I do feel that I've got this job that I'm going to interview for on Monday. But that being said, once I got everything situated and I'm actually back to work and doing things and making money, I will be live streaming again in a heartbeat. I probably will find time to live stream anyway, even before then. It's just a matter of, making sure I got everything, all my ducks in a row first. And no, I'm not going to stop live streaming. The message, the word, the fight, it moves on regardless of whether I have to make a career change or not. And the bright side is I own my truck. So even after I park it and walk away, if the economy ever comes back, I can jump right back in it and get back on the road and be an owner-operator all over again. So it's not like it's gone forever. Unlike, if I had a brand new truck and I was still making payments on it, then yeah, that would be a problem because I wouldn't be able to afford to keep making those payments if I was working a company job somewhere else and not actually driving that truck. So I own the truck. I'm not losing it. Like I said, if there's a day that the economy comes back to where it should be and we can actually afford to run, putting the truck back on the road. Hey, who knows? Maybe by then it'll be a classic. Maybe by then I'll have had time to work on it, get everything properly fixed, get it a whole new paint job, get everything decked out on it the way I want it before I ever put it on the road. Maybe I'll be driving a because this truck is a 2005. Even though it's a Volvo, I understand. Everybody's like, well, it's just a Volvo. Well, it's a Volvo that got me 1.5 million miles without too many problems. Matter of fact, it didn't have any problems up until recently when little parts here and there started breaking. And if you really want to know, 1.5 million miles and I'm still on the same brake pads that it had on it when it came off of the showroom floor with 0 miles on the truck. Imagine that. How many people take care of their trucks well enough to still have the original brake pads? Matter of fact, how many people have the skills to be able to drive a semi-truck and still have the original brake pads after 1.5 million miles? Yes, Queenie, I got it. I just got a notification up at the top of my screen that said I received an email from Queenie. But go ahead and drop your link for your channel in here again and tell people, that you guys have something planned going on that they should start watching you for up there in Canada. And, you know, if you know any other Canadian live streamers channels that are going to be involved in the whole thing, drop their links too, please. I don't know, positive. I don't know how I can look at anything positively there, Rosie Rowe, but I am. Now, everybody that's watching right now, if you don't already subscribe to Queenie, I suggest you do, because she is going to be live streaming, I think she said starting the 8th. And on the 8th, they are literally going to start doing something in Canada. You guys need to be watching. Yeah, I have Travel Fund 69. I'm already subscribed to them. Let's see. Well, Tommy Temper's always got a bunch of different ones up there. Ted from the Shed or something like that. And I don't know, there's a lot. Oh, yeah, Ottawa Scotty. No, there's nothing wrong with the Volvo. Besides the fact that almost everything on it originally was smaller and plastic, first. If any, this load I'm hauling that I'll be delivering tomorrow to several different places is the last load this truck and myself are hauling as owner operators. After and I'm walking away from it. Yeah, Zot and Sharzad. I don't. I think I have Zot. So, no, I'll be parking this truck on the back of my dad's property and walking away from it. God, the signal keeps going weak. Yep. My days as an owner operator right now are over. Hopefully temporarily, but for right now, I cannot afford to keep going any longer. I've already paid more to deliver all these loads this year than what I've made. I mean, you got to think about it. I get a load of, say I get a load of groceries that pays $2,000 to go from point A to point B, but it costs me $2,400 in fuel to go from point A to point B. That is what has been going on for more than 9 months now. Yeah, if you guys have all their links to all their channels that you keep mentioning, please put their links in here for everybody. Because I can only imagine what Canada is about to do. Yeah. Well, I'll still be live streaming, Rosie Rowe. I'll still be live streaming and I'll still be driving a truck, but I won't really be getting off of the West Coast very hardly at all. So, and I don't know if I'll be able to stand it for very long. Even if they're not coming, Queenie, it would be good to know what their channel links are just in case they do. I'm sure it will become very apparent once things start moving as to who's really going to be there and who isn't. And it's best for everybody to be subscribed to all of them. See, that's the same thing with me, we the people. That's why I can park it on the backside of my dad's property and walk away. If the economy turns around and comes back, I can put it back on the road in a heartbeat. Because I don't have any payments to make on it. I mean, if I could find somebody to drive this truck, if I could find somebody that would keep driving this truck, I would take, say, 5%, and they'd get the rest. You know, what's left over after fuel costs and everything else, you know, and I'd have them driving it while I take a local job. But I can't afford to keep going myself, so how could I in good conscience put a driver in it? If I can't make enough money to keep myself alive, how can I expect another driver to do this, to be able to do it, especially if I'm taking an extra 5%? I just can't do it. Hey, GGab, you've got my email. Go ahead and email me a full list of all of the channels from Canada that might go, might not go. Same for Queenie, same for everybody. If you've got a list of channels, you've got my email. Send them to me so I can make sure I'm subscribed to all of them, please. Not, you know, that also goes for posting them in here too. Because one thing I've noticed is after I do a live stream, I've got to wait like 24 hours or so before the actual live comment strains start coming up in the video. And even at that, some of my videos, the live comment strains never come up after the live stream had already been done. That guy is not very smart. No wonder he's riding a Honda Shadow. He's riding a Honda Shadow with tennis shoes, shorts, and no shirt. He's going to be hating life if he ends up dumping that bike. If that bike comes out from under him, he's going to be hurting. Any biker knows you dress for the ride. You don't dress for the ride. You dress for the slide. And that being said, the slide is if you come off your bike and slide across the asphalt. I'm going to see if the place I'm delivering to first will let me park on their property overnight. If not, well, then I guess I might end up having to drive 200 miles out of town to find a place to park. Because it's already too late in the day to really find one at a truck stop anywhere near the Seattle area. I'm roughly about 39 miles away from where I'm going on the first stop, so hopefully they let me park overnight. Now, if I get lucky enough, if I get there soon enough, maybe they'll let me unload their portion of it. That would be nice. Give me a little jump start on tomorrow. So right now, the area we're in is called Lacey, Washington. And the first place we're going to is Bonnie Lake, Washington. Sorry, I got to get something to drink. Stomach's trying to turn over on me right now. And then it's been like this the last couple of days. I'm not sick. I'm just sick to my stomach over over the fact that I'm parking my truck. Thank you, G-Gab. So the other part of this is I'm going to have to sell off a few of my Second Amendment toys. You know, the kind that go pew pew. I'm going to have to sell off a few of them so that I can buy a secondary vehicle, so that I can go to and from work without taking my wife's car away, because we only own one car, and both of my kids are now driving too. So I'm going to have to buy a secondary vehicle real quick in order to make sure that my wife still has a car to go to and from work, and that my kids can still get to and from school also using that car, and that I can go to and from work as well. So I'm going to have to sell off all of my I'm going to sell off most of them, see if I can even afford a car at that point. And I'm not even going to be able to get the money that they're worth either, because realistically, to sell them off as quickly as I need to, about the only place I can do that is to go to a pawn shop, and they're not going to give me what they're worth because they got to make money too. Oh no, I'm not going to sell all of them. I'm just going to sell what I can afford to let go of. I'm still going to have all of the mainstay ones that I need. Protection, hunting. One of my rifles for hunting. I'll keep my shotgun for hunting. And I'll keep my pistol and my wife's pistol. But all my others are probably going to go and get sold, including my AR-15s. Yep. And what makes it really odd, it's not just the independent truckers. You've got FedEx and Amazon within the last couple of days have both released press releases that they are literally going to be parking anywhere from 50 to 75% of their trucks nationwide because they cannot afford to keep them running. So it's not just the independent guys there, Ed. And what doesn't make sense to me, I've got a job interview for an extremely good job that pays extremely well with extremely good benefits, driving a truck for a metal recycling plant. I expected maybe I could find a job hauling food, groceries, something like that. And they're parking trucks left and right. So why is it that it appears metal recycling is more important than food for the people? Great. Scale house is open. I've already been through one. How many scale houses have I got to go through in Washington today? And GGab, yes, you can drop Grey Wolf's links in here too. Because I know he's not going to stop walking. He's not going to stop walking until he gets to DC. Now let's see if they let me pass or if I have to go in, huh? Good. They're not pulling me in. Why they got their sign back there says they're open and there's nobody in that scale house? Nobody. They left their sign open? Really? Laziness. All right. Thank you, GGab. Thank you, Queenie. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Ed. You all are definitely a wealth of information. I tell you what, the mods, the mods, the mods are more in tune with what's going on worldwide than the live streamers are. If you really want to know all the information, ask a mod. An Italian princess, I know you're back in there somewhere. Hello, Eileen. Elaine, right? Yeah, it's Elaine. Yeah, I haven't talked to my daughter yet about what colors she wants. I'll be doing that sometime this weekend, and I'll get back to you. I've got your email. Yeah, that is true, Ed. That is true. Hmm. Whew. I made a mistake earlier today. I stopped at a truck stop and I bought a cheeseburger. It was a double cheeseburger. Got out to the truck, started driving, opened up my cheeseburger and realized that the bun is rock hard, which means that cheeseburger was under the heat light for at least 4 to 6 hours or more. Yup. At least I got a couple other snacks that I can munch on. But that was just disheartening. For all I know, that hamburger could have been sitting under that heat light since yesterday afternoon. Because the little time that it was put in there was written on the package, and it had only been, 20 minutes since it was prepared. It shouldn't have been rock hard unless that was yesterday's time. Without the mods, none of us would be, if it wasn't for the mods, most of us live streamers, we wouldn't know our heads from the hole in the ground. We'd have a lack of conversation. We wouldn't know when and where to be or what to talk about. So really, the backbone of the live streaming, I'd say, genre or industry, the live streaming wouldn't exist without mods. They are the backbone. The mods are the backbone. I mean, even if a lot of the live streamers refuse to admit it or don't acknowledge it in any way, shape, or form, at least from my point of view, we definitely appreciate you and all of the hard work you do for us. Because it's not easy being a mod. Well, thank you, Elaine. We will have to talk more through the email. That would be great. That would be great. Now, if you made little wolf dolls instead of bears, wow, I'd be ordering thousands of those little wolves. But for right now, we're good. We'll figure out where we're going, and I'll contact you through the email. Now, for those of you that might have just come in and hadn't heard, the load I'm hauling right now that I will be delivering tomorrow I'll be delivering it to 8 different places. Once I get done with that, I'm turning my trailer in and I'm driving across the state to the other side, parking my truck on my dad's property and walking away. I'm having to take a regular job, a regular local truck driving job. It's going to be truck driving still, but I'm not going to be an owner-operator anymore for now. I cannot afford to keep going. I've already operated for more than 9 months in the red, and my bank account gets further and further negative every week. So, when I get the money in from, it brings my account back up to good plus some, but every week it's getting farther and farther and farther into the negative. And I know if I keep going, it's going to get to a point where it never sees a balance if I don't make a change. And this is the change that has to be made. And it's not forever. I mean, I own the truck. I don't have any payments to make on it. I hold the title to it, which means, in 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, however long it takes to get this economy back straight and get to a point where I can make money with my truck out on the road again, then I'll put it back out on the road. It's not the end. And I'm not going to stop live streaming either. I'm going to keep doing that. But now you've got one less truck out on the road now. And I'm pretty sure there's probably over 2,000 or 3,000 trucks that are parking and walking away this week as well. Especially when you've got FedEx and Amazon have both come out within the last week making public statements to the effect that they are going to be parking anywhere from 50% to 75% of their truck fleet because they cannot afford to keep them running. We're talking about two very large companies that can't afford to keep their trucks running. How do you expect little one-man operations like me to be out here still too? It's not possible. And I'm kind of in shock that they actually started parking their trucks before guys like me did. Granted, I'm only about a week behind them, but still. But I've got a job lined up. The job is going to pay $37 an hour plus 100% full benefits. And when I say full benefits, I mean everything. I don't have to pay a dime for it, except maybe copay. 401k with matching, with no limit on the matching. So if I put in $2,000 this month, they'll match it and put in $2,000. If I put in $10,000 next month, they'll match it and put in $10,000. They don't restrict anybody from overtime. So I'm going to be working four 10-hour days. If I choose to work 5 or 6 days that week, they'll allow me to do it. Which means I'll be getting time and a half for those. Plus, the holiday pay is double time, stuff like that. There's paid time off. There's also, company stock that I'll be getting, and quarterly bonuses. So it's like this job just popped up at the right moment. I mean, they literally had the ad for the job posted for a total of like 60 seconds when I saw it. Because when I saw it where it was posted, it said that it had been posted less than a minute ago. And I called on it immediately and filled out an application immediately. Because I was already looking at, well, what the hell am I going to do? I can't move forward I can't keep going and not making any money, or at least not making enough money to substantiate anything. I mean, seriously, we're out here 24/7, practically 365, away from our families, away from our homes, making sure all the goods are moved all over the country. And we literally are being only paid enough to maybe get one meal a day. And God forbid if we could keep our truck running. If a part breaks, guess what? Good luck. Thank you, Brandon. Ooh, that's an old 1932 Deuce Coupe in red going the other way. Where is it? There it is. "13 more miles, and then I find out if I can park on their property overnight or not, or if they might let me unload tonight. At least unload the first of 8 stops." Oh, you know, if POTUS is at Camp David again, he's hiding. He's hiding because it is now, the evidence has now been released that he directly ordered the FBI to raid Trump's property there in Mar-a-Lago. He ordered them to do it, which, first of all, that's illegal, and it's treasonous. It is treason, because what that is a political candidate in power that is attacking or defiling or defaming or destroying a political opponent or a possible political opponent. You can't do that. Why Biden is not that, I do not know. But he should be, because that is treason. A sitting president that has the ability to run for office another term cannot use any to attack his political rival. Elaine, trucks are already parking. Trucks are already parking. It's not that we've started, it's already been going on for months. And now it's getting to big companies like FedEx and Amazon. That's right, Rosie Rowe, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Hello, Al. So, Mr. Al Munson, I know you're a critic. I know you don't seem to believe that there are product shortages going on all over the country in various places in the grocery stores, but it's about to get a whole lot more evident and a whole lot worse. Because within the last week, you've got FedEx and Amazon both have come out and stated that they will be parking anywhere from 50 to 75% of their trucks because they cannot afford to keep running them. And we're talking about two very large companies. They started parking trucks last week. I myself, as a single owner operator independent, am surprised that I lasted longer than they did. But this weekend, I'm parking my truck and I'm walking away from it because I can no longer afford to keep going. So enjoy your empty store shelves here within the next month or two. Trust me, it's coming.
1.25 miles. Right to Washington 167 North.
Whether you choose to believe it or not, it's happening. Now, don't worry about me though, Al. I've already got another job lined up that pays me really well. I just won't be doing it as an owner-operator running my own business. And the bright side is I own my truck, which means once I park it and walk away, if the economy turns back around and comes back to a point that I can afford to run it again, I can put it right back on the road and run again. Yes, it is a worldwide problem. America is only just now starting to feel the effects. The effects are only just now starting to take place, as opposed to a lot of the other countries that are already in the middle of it. Bonnie Lake, Bonnie Lake, Bonnie Lake. If I remember correctly, even if I can't park where I'm going to deliver, there is a Walmart up there that should let me. God damn it. There we go. Excuse my language. I hate it when somebody walks around the outside of their car that they parked right on the white line.
Be in the middle of the two right lanes, then take the exit to Washington 410 East.
So, how much more damage are we going to allow to happen to this country by our politicians before we stand up and scream no more? I already stood up. I've already stood up, not just with the People's Convoy, but on multiple other occasions. And it seems like everybody is so trapped into doing just what they need to do to survive and not caring about anything else outside their own lives. It's baffling to me. You can sit there and not care about what's going on other than what you do until you're starving to death, which is coming. Stick your head in the sand and try to think it doesn't exist. That doesn't work, bud. It just doesn't. People are waking up way too late. Yeah, the Shed. Now, I've watched a little bit of the Shed here and there. They're good guys. They're good guys. It's usually, every time I've watched, it's always been two guys, two different guys that are talking on there. Um, Pretty informative. All right. Oh, don't do it. God damn. You know, everybody says, oh, you're supposed to watch for bikers. You're supposed to watch for bikers. Well, yeah, I'm watching for them, but they're doing stupid garbage in front of me. You'll wonder why they get run over. I was already speeding to begin with. Hello, Hector. All right, I see a bunch of new names in here. So, I've reached a point where I can no longer afford to keep going as an owner-operator. I've been operating in the red for more than 9 months. Most of the loads have paid me less than what it costs to run them. I'm at a point now where either I park my truck or I lose everything I own. So I'm taking a regular company truck driving job for local position that pays really, really well, and I'm parking my truck. This is the last load that I'm going to be hauling as an owner-operator for the time being. I got 8 deliveries to make tomorrow, and then I'm going to take the trailer over and turn it in. After that, I'm going to drive to the other end of the state, put my truck on the back of my dad's property, and walk away from it. Because I can't afford to keep going. And you think about it, I'm just one small independent trucker. And you right now, within the last week, you've got FedEx and Amazon have come out and stated that they are both going to be parking anywhere from 50 to 75% of their trucks because they can't keep going either. So I'm kind of in shock that I lasted as long as I did, to the point that there are big trucking companies that are shutting down most of their trucks before I shut down. It should never happen that way. All the little guys should have been shut down a long time before the big ones. So if the big ones are also shutting down right now, that should tell you something. This country is in dire straits now. Not 2 years from now, not 10 years from now, now. If you ever had a backbone in your life, now is the time to stand. If you hadn't stood up already, you should have. Because everything we know is going to be gone within the next couple of weeks or months. Your store shelves will be going bare very, very soon, if not some of them already. take my sunglasses off now. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but that is Mount Rainier directly ahead of us with all the clouds over the top of it. Now, Mount Rainier is under attack? Yeah. Yeah, the clouds are attacking it. It still has a lot of snow on it, too. Where's this drought everybody keeps talking about? If we were truly having any kind of drought, there wouldn't be any snow on Mount Rainier. Oh, I see a lot of brake lights up around the corner.
In 3/4 of a mile, be in the right lane, then turn right on South Prairie Road East.
Very true, Al Munson, very true. Our country has actually been in dire straits since the Act of 1871. And even before that, because of how long it took them to infiltrate the government to the point that they could even pass such a thing. So, there it is, people. You've got thousands of trucks from big companies parking all over the country and not going back to work. You've got hundreds of us little guys that are also doing the same thing. Some of us, a very large majority of us already have. I have I have a little more than 300 other owner-operator friends of mine that have already parked their trucks and walked away because they couldn't afford to keep going. And now I'm at the same point. What do you think's going to happen when there aren't any more trucks running?
Turn right on South Prairie Road East.
All right. So sometime here in 500 feet,
arrive at 19911 South Prairie Road East.
This must be it. Maybe I'll just, nope, that says no trucks there, so looks like trucks have to go in right here. That says exit loading zone. I don't know nothing about that. What I do know is I'm coming around the back side. Because this is where I'm delivering to tomorrow or tonight if they'll take it. They probably won't take it tonight though. All right. Let's see here. That looks like the dock that I need. And I am going to park it right over here for now. And I'm going to go find out if they're going to take me tonight or not. Well, let's see. Turn that off. Paperwork. Hello, thank you for subscribing, Chaplain. Let's see if my mic stayed on. It did. Testing, testing. Anybody hear me? Let's go see what we got. Oh, where's my keys? Oh, there we go. All right. The paperwork there, the keys there. There we go. I'll put you guys back over here. Change you there. There we go. Get you some more visibility. Sorry if I made anybody sick while I was getting out of the truck. You know, just things. Motion sickness, right? Now let me find out, where do I check in at? I'm going to flip the screen again. Everybody close your eyes for 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, flip. There. Now I can hold the phone a little easier without worrying about covering up my... Uh-oh. Are we upside down? Is everybody upside down? The comments are on the wrong side. Okay, everybody close your eyes again. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, flip. There we go. Sorry, I can't deal with the comments being upside down. Well, okay, there is a door. All right. 7 a.m. to 4. So they're probably not going to accept me until 7 a.m. But we will see. Now watch. Let me see. At least I've got a window I can see in. There's nobody in that office, so the likelihood of anybody there. Somebody actually is there. So y'all be quiet. I have a load of nursery stuff. It's driver unload. I don't know if you guys will be willing to accept it now or wait till 7 in the morning.
Come on in and I'll radio my manager and find out. Typically receiving clothes, I don't accept. So let me radio and ask her.
Well, if they don't have anybody that can accept it, then I'll be waiting till 7 in the morning anyway. I mean, I'm out of the way down the little street here that goes to the tire discount place. So all I have to do really is back up in the morning. And I'm going to move this way. There.
Hey, Jen.
That's Auburn. Federal. Okay.
I have a delivery person here for some garden stuff. Typically, I tell them that receiving's closed because we are, and I don't receive the trucks unless it's the RDC in the morning. I don't know if you want me to just have them come back in the morning or what you want to do.
They have to come back during receiving hours.
Okay. I kind of figured.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. All right.
I can let you back out here, or you can go out that way. Yep.
I need a bathroom first.
Oh, yep.
So.
Very front of the store.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I'll go back out the front.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Flip you guys back around. I'm not doing anything. Oops. Oops. Put it back. There we go. Wonder if I can even hold my signal up in here. I'm on the back side. I guess exit, exit, exit. Where in the world is the bathroom up in this one? Huh. Little crazy. I do not see a sign for a restroom on this back side. Oh wait, maybe I can just hop up there. Whoops, almost dropped the phone. I forgot where my little selfie stick thingy, tripod, whatever. I forgot where that is. Excuse me. Which way is the men's room?
Go to the front, just over next to the tools.
Okay, so it is further that way. Okay. And it's to that way?
Yeah. So just before the tools, maybe actually right up.
Okay. Thank you. Yep. So, how does everybody feel about our commander-in-chief or demander-in-thief committing treason by ordering the FBI to raid Mar-a-Lago, which happens to be attacking a possible political opponent? That's treason. That's straight up treason. How does everybody feel about that? All right, guys. Gonna switch you back around. And then I'm gonna set you on a counter right there. All right, now that that's all done, grab the paperwork back up and make sure to grab you guys. All right. Now we can flip you back around. All right. Now, which way is exit? Exit. That way. Can't go through there. Now I can go through. All right, here we go. Now, what's within walking distance? Well, there's a Sonic. And there's a 7-Eleven. I don't feel like eating anything out of 7-Eleven tonight. So, Sonic is the most likely option. Not that I really like Sonic's food either. All their food always tastes like burnt fryer grease. See if they've got indoor dining. There's a lot of places around that still don't have indoor dining. There's a Kohl's across the street. Looks like maybe a Target over there too. Look at this. Look at this. So I'm getting a job driving a semi-truck for $37 an hour. And we have over here $28 to $40 an hour to be a carpenter, which I have carpentry skills. I took 4 years of wood shop in high school. I've kept everything in my house all redone, you know. I know how to do all that stuff. Problem is, I don't have any work experience in it. So, how do you do that? Yeah, looks like Sonic is it. Oh no, there's Pizza Hut over there, but oh my God, no. I can't do pizza. My acid reflux would kill me. All right, anybody got any ideas? What's good at Sonic? I might actually go for the Reese's. Reese's strawberry Sonic Blast with the M&Ms or the Oreo. Well, Oreo cheesecake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't eat Oreos. I love Oreos, but you know, drowned in milk, not frozen. So let's see what else we got. We've got Oh, by the way, am I still live, guys? Because I don't see anybody commenting. What does anybody think? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, good. What does everybody think? What should I be ordering here? I'm thinking, ooh, that. If I wasn't going to be going to bed soon, that supersonic jalapeno double cheeseburger might look good. But those jalapenos would be killing my acid reflux overnight. Um, crap. It's all crap. Even the chicken sandwich, it's crap because it's a deep fried chicken. It's not a grilled. Wow. All right, so we're just gonna go for the supersonic double cheeseburger, I think, and the Sonic Blast Reese's in the large. Yep, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Unless, what do we got over here? We've got I've got plenty of sweet tea in the truck. I think I'm gonna indulge a little bit and have the Reese's. What do you guys say? Nope, I don't like Oreos frozen. I like them drowned in milk like they belong.
Thank you for choosing Sonic. My name is Gabe. What can I sort of do now?
I'm gonna take the supersonic double cheeseburger and a large Sonic Blast Reese's peanut butter cup.
So unfortunately, our ice cream machine is currently down.
Ice cream machine is currently down.
Yep.
Why is that the going trend with every single fast food restaurant in the country? I'm a truck driver. I see the whole country, and everywhere I go, it doesn't matter if it's you guys or McDonald's or Burger King, you all can't make shakes or ice creams or anything. It's crazy.
I don't know. It just went out on us yesterday. I'm still waiting on someone to fix it.
Oh well. Let's see what else have we got on the drink menu. Um, what's the flavor of the slushies? Is that what is that? That's what all these candy flavors over here are?
Yeah, I believe it's on the bottom left side of the menu. It should just have all the flavors listed.
Okay. How about blue raspberry? Make that a large. Your RT or whatever that is.
All right.
That'll do.
Okay. Double cheeseburger and a large blue raspberry slush will be 11.14. So just ready.
Can you hang on a second? Can you do you have cheese sticks? Yeah, mozzarella sticks. Just a small order, the 389 order.
All right. Okay. Will that be all you're adding?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. That'll make it 15.39.
Thank you. Now let's see if this thing will accept it. Oh, pay with card. I got to do that first. How do I touch? There we go. Thank you. Amount charged. It says thank you. We'll erase your order out quickly. All right. I think it's paid for. Yeah, it's paid for. Okay. Now I'll put my card back in my wallet. Well, there. There you go, guys. It's one of the last times you're going to see her on the road for a while. I know she's big, she's ugly, but she ain't got to be pretty to get the job done. Yep. So, fun. Mm. See, I like how they still have the old stalls you park in and you order. I wonder if they actually still come out in roller skates. I know I went to a Sonic many years ago. They came out on roller skates, but I guess that might have been just specific to the place I was at, you know. We'll see. I'm going to take a seat and check out this little friend of ours here. Yep. So I'll be ordering my food to go, and I'll go eat in my truck so I don't have to eat with bugs. Caps? Oh. You don't think my truck's ugly? Well, I have a mismatched hood. She's big and blue, and then the truck itself is green, and then I've got that black box on the back of the cab, sitting on the frame that carries a motorcycle. Yeah, she's big and she's ugly. She gets the job done. That's all that really matters, right? Problem is, she ain't doing the job anymore after I get done with this load. She's gonna go to the other end of the state and sit on my dad's property until the economy either comes back proper or who knows. But yeah, you heard it. I'm parking the truck. Parking the truck. I cannot afford to keep going. Yeah, she does the job. She just she can't afford to keep going. It's too expensive to, you know, when I'm getting paid $2,000 to drive a load that costs me $2,400 to drive it from point A to point B, I can't stay in business. I just can't. And I'm one of thousands. I'm one of thousands across the country that are parking our trucks right now. We cannot afford to keep going. Even FedEx and Amazon are parking a lot of their trucks right now. They came out here within the last week, both of them did, saying that they're going to be parking anywhere from 50 to 75% of their trucks because they can't afford to keep running them. How are we doing?
This must be yours.
Yeah, a double cheeseburger thing and a raspberry whatever.
Yep, mozzarella sticks.
And mott sticks, yep.
There we go.
All right. Thank you very much.
You have a great rest of the night, pal.
Yeah, you too. Wow, that was quick. So, get my paperwork. Take and put the straw in the drink. I'm going to set you guys down a second so I can grab everything up properly here. I don't need to save that receipt. There we go. Got that. Got that. Oh boy, this is not going to be easy. Yeah, this is not going to be easy here. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Switch around. There we go. And there we go. There we go. Now, I imagine the easiest way to get back to my truck without walking through all that dry grass is going to be this way. Welcome to Bonnie Lake, Washington. Oh, wow. Somebody left a pin and a razor box knife right there. And people wonder where this stuff goes. Too many employees are too careless. Oh yeah, look at all them houses. Literally, I'll tell you what, if that ground got saturated just enough, it would all slide this way. Because that cliff face is a fake cliff face. That cliff face is a retaining wall holding all that dirt back. And it's a very thin retaining wall compared to what a real cliff would be. And this is up in Rainy Town, the Seattle area. So, eventually, all them houses are going to end up covering up exactly where I'm standing. Because it will happen. I don't know why anybody would buy a house on an edge like that. But at least it's going to be a quiet night. And I won't have to be idling the truck for too long because here in a little bit the temperature is going to start dropping pretty quick because the sun's already gone down. And I can sleep with my windows open. Oh yeah. There you go, we the people, if you're still watching. All right. Start setting stuff down here. Burger goes here. Set you guys down. Oh, I see a lot of people new. A lot of new names that I haven't seen for either a while or haven't seen before. Give me a minute to get in the truck and get situated. And we'll fill everybody in on some stuff here. All right, get these out of the way. What have I got? Oh. Okay, that looks like that's all right. Where's the drink? There it is. All right, there we go. Take this paperwork. Now, gray matters. I do like your comment to the stickers on the side of my truck, but I have to remove it simply because I do not allow the profane language in my chat. So please, in the future, try to remember not to use profanity. Okay, I would appreciate it. Fortify it. What you mean, like? How would you put it? Like Mad Max, Road Warrior, or you know, 2 men enter, only 1 leaves. So, some of you have been watching me for a long time. Some of you have already heard it today. Some of you haven't. Some of you are new or relatively new. I don't really recognize some of the names. Most of us truck drivers, especially us independent owner operators that are just kind of one-man show, most of us are, we've been running in the red for at least 9 months or more. And I've been running in the red for more than 9 months. I've hit a point where I can no longer afford to keep going. When I'm getting paid less on a load than what it actually costs to get it from point A to point B, I can't last very long. Just within the last week alone, I'm surprised I've still been going, because you now have Amazon and FedEx have both come out and said that they are parking 50 to 75% of their trucks because they can't afford to keep them going either. And we're talking about very big companies that could easily take the hit and, you know, move it from, they can move the numbers around. They could easily have been able to stay going for a long time without really feeling the problem. But they're already felt the problem, and they're already starting to park their trucks, which is kind of a shock to me that I have been able to stay going this long. This is the last load. Once everything gets unloaded tomorrow, I will be turning in my trailer and then taking my truck all across the state to my dad's place, parking it out in the back pasture, and walking away. I can't stay going. I can't afford to. I've been operating in the red too long. So we're talking thousands and thousands of trucks across the country are starting to park right now, and thousands already have. And there's more coming. There's more parking coming. So if you're not stocked up right now, I suggest you get stocked up, because your stores are going to go empty. Just saying. I've got another job lined up. I'll be fine. Someday when the economy comes back to where it should be, I can just put this truck right back on the road because I own it. I don't make payments, nothing. I hold the title. So it's not like I'm out. Sometime down the road, I can get back to doing what I love. But for now, I have to make sure that the bills can stay paid. And I can't do that in my own truck anymore. So thank you, Brandon, for killing my American dream. Now forgive me. I'm going to do some eating while we do some chatting, okay? And I might do some catching up on some of the text here, some of the chat. Yeah, we're going through the Bidening. I love that Bidenflation. Yeah, we're going through the Bidening as well. Shout out. Yeah, Ed, I will. I just got to catch up on some of the commenting back here. Well, Ed, so, you had the drive-ins and they actually came out and took your order back in your day. Well, did you sit next to Jesus also while you were at church? Just saying. Did you share the same pew? Yeah, I know. I know. My truck's not ugly. She's unique. All right, I'm pretty much caught up on the commenting. All right. Oh, you didn't go to church back then. Okay. Now, where's these cheese sticks? There they are. What did they give me? What did they give me for a sauce? Jesus Christ. That's tiny writing. Marinara. Okay. 4 sticks and a little thing of marinara. I'll eat those while they're still hot because they don't taste the same once they cool down. And then we'll work on the burger. Let's see here. Let me push this upward. Push it over here. Put you back over here. And then put you here. Move this. Sorry, I'm redirectioning my air vents so that I can get cool air onto the phone so it doesn't overheat. Turn it down a little bit. Maybe up 1. There we go. There. That should do. What am I looking at? All right, maybe this will open. There we go. And they make some of these packages a little too hard to get into without making a mess anyway. Hmm. Well, I remember first time I'd ever been to a drive-in. It was actually an A&W, and I do remember that you would order through the little thing, the little speaker, and then they would come out to your car, take your cash from you. They'd have this little thing that would hang on your window, and your tray would be attached to that. You know, you'd get your tray attached to your window so that you could just have it sitting there while you're eating in your car, and they would come out on roller skates to bring it to you. That's extremely rare now. That was also, not only was that my first experience with a drive-in when I was young, but that was also the first time I ever had a root beer float. And I fell in love with root beer floats. Hmm. So the comments don't go far enough back for me to be able to see what everybody thought about our commander-in-chief committing treason and ordering the FBI to raid Mar-a-Lago. Because the evidence has now come out that he actually did order that. So how does that make everybody feel? What do they think? What do you all think about the treasonous act of sending of the sitting president that has another term to run for, using the Federal Bureau of Investigation as a weapon against his possible political opponent? That's treason. Just so you know, that is the definition of treason. One of many. How do you feel about it? So, yeah. Thank you, Dixie Misty. I've got another job lined up. Now, if it doesn't work out, there's plenty of other jobs out there. And if none of them work out because it's getting too expensive for trucks to keep going, if none of that works out, I might just sell everything off, buy a motorcycle, and go nomad. Well, buy another motorcycle anyway. What is that? I don't know what that is, but it shouldn't be stuck to my cheese stick. Well, here's a big problem that I see. If they were to take Biden out of office because of what he just did, if they were to take him out of office, that leaves us with Kamala, or excuse me, let me give you the real Northwestern American pronunciation of that word, Kamala. Kamala is who we would be left with. Don't think that would last for very long. They'd figure out how to take her out too. So guess who the next person in line is after her? That's right, the Crypt Keeper, Pelosi herself. Don't think for a minute that's not where they're trying to go. Yeah, you call her that, Hugh, and I call her heels up. Heels up, Harris. Well, Hugh, selling off everything and moving into an RV, that was mine and my wife's retirement plan. You know, when the kids are out of school and we get to a retirement time, we planned on selling everything off, buying an RV, and just going and doing and seeing whatever we want whenever we want. That was our retirement plan. But thanks to this last couple of years, we don't have a retirement plan now. It's gone. Yeah. See, the problem is all the damage that Biden's already done in the name of, basically in the name of, destroying America's economy. But the Green New Deal stuff. Problem is, he wasn't really a Green New Deal kind of guy. Kamala is the one that's all Green New Deal, 100%. So the damage that Biden has caused, if they take him out and we get stuck with her, the damage he's caused ain't nothing compared to what she's going to do. Yeah? Well, Hugh, they're not just living in RVs now. You've got whole families that are living on the streets in tents. They are living in their cars. They're living in their vans and pickups and whatever else. There are a lot of displaced families that don't have anywhere to live because of this last 2 years. So, if you have not actually stood up and marched in any of the movements yet in person. Why not? The time to stand was the day after the last election. The time to put the keyboards down in March was the day after the last election. The time for keyboard warriors was over the day after the last election. Guys like me stood up. We didn't get anybody else backing up with us. So if there was ever a time for you to stand up and keep standing up, now is the time. Because now you are just days, weeks, or even a month or two away from having nothing left in your stores because trucks are parking left and right. There aren't enough trucks to haul everything everybody needs to every store. You've already got store shelves going bare all over the country in various places, and it's only going to get worse to the point that your stores will be empty. And you will be starving unless you stocked up. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and keep your head in the sand. Just don't come crying to me the day you're starving to death because you see that I'm still cooking up some meat or something like that I've got. And then complain about your stores having been empty and you ran out of food because you didn't know. Because I told you and you didn't believe me. Don't cry to me about it. I'll still make you a dinner, but don't cry to me about it. Because we begged you for months to stand up. We begged you for months to pull your heads out of the sand and join us. And what did we get? What were your excuses? And there are a lot of you in my chat. No, I'm not talking at you. You know exactly who I'm talking to. Talking to the people that are hiding in the background, not participating like they always do. The naysayers, the ones that want to sit back and pick out every little thing looking for the, oh God, he said this, he's so wrong, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm talking to them. They should have stood up too. I don't care if you're left. I don't care if you're right. I don't care what side of politics you're on. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your ideologies are. I do not care what your sexualities are. I do not care what your skin colors are or your cultures are. I don't care what your languages are. None of that matters. What matters is what's right for human beings and the American citizens in this country and the human beings in other countries for their countries. It has nothing to do with your politics or your race or your religion or any of that BS. Every single person in this country should be standing up screaming enough is enough right now. Every single one of you. And just because you think that I'm talking about here in America, I'm not just talking about here in America. This is going on worldwide. This is America, it is Canada, it is Denmark, it is France, it's Spain, it's Norway, it's Sweden, it's Germany, it's New Zealand, New Guinea. It's in Europe, all over the place. The entire world. And if you don't believe me, please start looking up the live streams from other countries. Because it is worldwide. And America is actually starting to feel the effects last. So is Canada. Canada's not really feeling the effects of it yet either, as far as when it comes to their grocery stores and things, but it's coming. But the Canadians have been prepared for it. Americans with their heads in the sand? I don't think so. I don't normally eat cheeseburgers like this from fast food places. So forgive me. I might not even eat the whole dang thing. I prefer to make my own cheeseburgers. Yes, Hugh, we do have thousands of illegals crossing. Matter of fact, you know, they've been talking about, well, you got all these buses full of illegal immigrants that are seeking asylum. So we're sending these buses from the Mexican border up to New York and DC and stuff in order to house them while their asylum status is gone through. But those buses aren't making it there. Those buses are getting pulled over, and I mean, they're ditching these people in the middle of nowhere in places, or in the middle of small towns in places all across the country. There were two or three of them here last week, or over the last couple of weeks in Tennessee alone. They pulled off and just let all the people out to run out on foot and go wherever they're going to go in the middle of the Shenandoah Mountains. And we're talking about people who already trekked across some of the most treacherous terrain in order to even cross into the U.S. in the first place for hundreds and hundreds of miles. So they already have the experience on how to survive in that kind of situation. And they're just flooding the country that way. Those buses aren't making it to Washington, D.C. or to New York or any place where they're going to be housed. They're letting the people go in the middle of nowhere so that they can flood throughout the entirety of the country. The problem is it's going to backfire on them because those people are not stupid. Those people see that everything they're running away from in their own countries is exactly what the left and the agenda are pushing right now and trying to get done. They don't want to end up living in the same place that they just tried to escape from, so they're not going to vote for those people. Because we know it's all about the vote, right? They're bringing them in because they think they're going to vote for them, because they're going to be promised this, this, and this, and this. They're not stupid. They're running away from that in the first place. Yep, you're very right. You are very right, Hugh. They are from all over the world. They're not just from Mexico. The illegal immigrants coming across are from all over the world, and I guarantee you, a large percent of them are terrorists. They are coming in. They're infiltrating in order to start terroristic operations within our country. I guarantee you that. I'm wondering how long, with all these illegals coming in and disappearing into the country, and a lot of them are going to be terrorists from enemy countries. I'm wondering how long it's going to be before we start seeing uh, suicide bombers. How long? Anybody want to take any bets on how long? I mean, I don't want to see it. I think it would be extremely sad if it starts happening, but I can't say without a doubt that it's not going to start happening. 6 months, not long. Before the November elections, yeah. Well, I know we're going to see a few more mass shootings before the elections. Because that always happens on an election year, and it's been getting more and more and worse and bigger and badder every year. And what's scary is our kids are just now starting to get back to school for the year. So it's not just going to be some mass shooting at some concert somewhere in the middle of a big city or in the middle of nowhere, or some big rally that happened that somebody went in and started shooting, or some church function or whatever. It's going to be back in our schools again. It's going to be back in our schools again. And I really wish we could figure out exactly who to stop. Because we know most of them, these kids are being given weapons that they could never buy, they could never afford. Their families couldn't afford the amount of weapons and ammo to do these things. And they're being let into schools during hours when those doors are locked. It's harder to get in and out of my kids' school to get them to sign them out or go pick them up or, do something, anything. It's harder to get in and out of my school than it is to get on an airplane. And it ain't easy to get on an airplane these days. Matter of fact, it's harder to get in and out of a school than it is a federal building. So somebody is setting it all up in the first place. Figure out who that somebody is and put a stop to them. No. I'm sorry. A cheeseburger should not taste like a fish sandwich. Oh, it's horrible. I feel sorry for anybody that thinks that those cheeseburgers at Sonic taste good. No, he was not. No, he was not. There is not a single gun store. There is not a single gun store that he bought those weapons at. Not one. None of them admit to it. None of them have any paperwork showing that he did, which they're required to. They have to hold on to the background checks for X amount of months. Here's another thing. Nobody under the age of 18 is allowed to buy a pistol, period. You have to be 21 or older. Federal. That's a federal minimum. 21 or older. and he had pistols. Every weapon he had was brand new. The amount of weapons he had was extensive. The amount of ammo he had was extensive. I'm a firearms fanatic myself, okay? When they list off exactly what weapons he had, I can guarantee you, just by doing the math, he had over $28,000 in weapons alone, not counting the ammo. Where in the world does an 18-year-old come up with $28,000 with a brand new weaponry, plus the ammo, and half of that weaponry being stuff that he can't even legally buy? I am sorry. Oh, here's the other thing. First of all, this shooting, it happened after school had been let out for the summer. No kids were there. No kids were supposed to be there. There's part of the red flag. The school is locked down tight during business hours. And, you know, at all times, basically now. How did he get in? Somebody had to let him in. With all that armament. And they didn't see it? Come on. The other thing, okay, if I was bullied, or if you were bullied, or if anybody was bullied, any of the kids today were bullied by their peers. We're talking about an 18-year-old kid now. He was bullied drastically, supposedly, by all these kids his own age. I don't know anybody that is going to sit there and get bullied by all these kids his own age and turn around and take it out on kids 15 years younger than him. If he were on a revenge kick, he wouldn't be going after kids that had nothing to do with it. He wouldn't be going after kids that were 15 years younger and didn't know their head from a hole in the ground compared to him. He would be going after his own tormentors, the kids he grew up with, the kids that tortured him, the kids in his own age group. Every single thing about that particular mass shooting screams set up, red flag. School wasn't even in session. No children should have been in those buildings at all, let alone teachers. I mean, look, he had one of the AR-15s that he had was one of the most expensive on the market. Well, actually is the most expensive on the market. That particular AR-15, brand new, is a $7,000 to $10,000 rifle. There ain't nobody on the face of this planet that is going to give an 18-year-old kid that has never had a job a day in his life and comes from a poor family that doesn't have hardly enough money to even scrape together to buy a $500 car. Nobody's giving him any credit on that. No, it's not happening. I mean, you got to think. Take a look back throughout the last 40 years, at least, just the last 40 years. Every 2 years, like clockwork, it started out very small, almost unheard of, but every 2 years, the 1 year leading up for about a year leading up to an election, whether it be the 2-year election for your congressional and senatorial seats, or whether it be the every 4th year for presidential. At first, it started out only in the presidentials. Now, over time, it has progressed to every 2 years like clockwork. From 1 year up, from 1 year before the election up to the election, and maybe a little after. But those are the only years that we have these mass shootings. these massively televised, massive nationwide news, all of that. But see, here's the thing. You've got 100 to 200 shootings every single day in Chicago. The most anti-gun city and state in the country, with the strictest gun laws. Most people aren't even allowed to own a gun at all if they live within the city limits of Chicago. 1 to 200 shootings a day. LA, 1 to 200 shootings a day. New York, 1 to 200 shootings a day. You don't hear that shit on the news. Excuse my language. You don't hear it on the news. They haven't reported that stuff on the news since I was a kid. I remember actually seeing some of those reports when I was a kid on the news, but there was a certain period of time where it was all the time, every day that we were hearing about it, and then boom, we heard nothing. Nothing. For years, we've never heard anything about those shootings. Because, oh, it's just gang violence now. Yep. I am going to stream as much as possible tomorrow also. It'll probably be a series of different streams, because I'm not going to be live streaming while I'm trying to unload my truck, because I have to unload my truck by hand. So I'm not going to be trying to hold the camera and pull a pallet out of the back of my truck at the same time. So I'll probably live stream in between each as I'm driving in between. Once everything's all done and I've dropped off my trailer and everything, I'll live stream all the way to my dad's. But yeah, I just can't believe the Bidening has killed my American dream. I cannot believe I'm at a point where I'm having to park my truck and walk away. I just can't believe it. I'm still numb. Maybe I'm still in shock because of what last week I sat down and I did the numbers, and it is amazing how much more money I have spent trying to stay in operation versus how much I've made. Realistically, I probably should have parked the truck in March. In March, I probably should have parked this truck and not continued at that point. So, yeah. One news station covered Beetlejuice today. Yeah. Well, even Beetlejuice, she may be talking some truth about some of the violence in Chicago, but she is still lying or covering up a lot of it. Chicago is one of the most deadly and violent cities in the world. Just saying. That's okay. Where'd I put it? It's usually right here. What did I do? I set this bag on top. That's what I did. and this bag, and that bag. And there we go. There it is. I had the bag of dog food on top of it. I bought a new bag of dog food. I didn't realize I set it on top. There is a reason some of us don't drive through areas like Chicago without them. Just saying. I will never, ever drive through areas like that without it. Never. There have been a few times in my career where it has saved my life. So no. Anybody that thinks Chicago is safe, you got another thing coming. And Gary, Indiana is even worse than Chicago itself. Just so you know. Slidell, Louisiana, not a safe place for truckers. There are a lot of places in this country that are not safe. And usually it's in areas where they are more strict on gun control than other areas. I am a firm believer we would never have a school shooting if our teachers were armed and the students knew that our teachers were armed. I am a firm believer that if everybody knew that people around them were armed, i.e. open carry, or, just everybody has the right to carry open or concealed, like a constitutional carry. If every place were constitutional carry and people knew that people were armed everywhere, there'd be a whole lot less of this crap going on, wouldn't there? Because I guarantee you, the one person that has something evil in their mind to use their weapon for is less likely to actually do it if they suspect or can see that there are a lot of other people around that have them. They don't want to get shot and die. They want to go and do what they're going to do and get away with it. They don't want to risk getting shot and die. The only reason we're seeing so much more of this violence everywhere is because of the fact that people aren't allowed to open carry, or because of the fact that people have been brainwashed to the point that, well, most people aren't going to carry a weapon of any kind to defend themselves or others in emergency situations. You've got entire states where it's legal to open carry, but nobody actually does because they've got other laws that beat people up over it. Like, so I can open carry in one state, but they have a law on the book called menacing, which means if I've got it open carry and I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, I can have a cop come up to me and take me to jail for menacing because I'm scaring everybody in the neighborhood. Our media has programmed the people of this country to be scared of anybody with a gun. When they shouldn't be. If I'm out there and I'm walking down the street and I've got one that I'm open carrying, you can be sure I am a legal, law-abiding citizen that has the right to do so. And I'm not out for criminal intent. The ones that are hiding it, keeping it concealed, that aren't legal to carry it, are the ones you need to worry about. That being said, I have my concealed carry for most of the states in the country. So I'm legal almost everywhere I go. If I'm not legal in that state, then it stays locked up. I'm sorry, Jethro, but everything that your New York Post, everything you just pulled up there, everything they said is an outright lie. You cannot buy weapons online. You can't buy firearms online. It is not possible. You have to, if you do buy it online, you still have to have it shipped to a local FFL, which is a gun store. And you still have to go in and do your background check. You have to go in and do your background check, okay? He wouldn't have passed buying that many of them all at once. He would never have passed, for one. And for two, there is no way in hell he only paid $1,700 for a $7,000 rifle, let alone all the other weapons he bought. You are being lied to by your media. And you can thank Obama for that, because he made it legal for our media to lie to us and get away with it with no repercussions. He didn't get them from somewhere. He was given them. Yes, Mr. Officer. Shine that bright-ass light in my mirrors again, and watch how quickly I complain to your police department. Some officers, no respect for the people that literally provide them with everything they own. He's gone around and he's back over there, but he came up behind me and blasted his brights and his spotlight right in my mirror and hit me right in the face with them. I think you saw how bright things got in here for a second. Sorry, my stress level's up here right now, so I'm smoking a lot more than normal. Yeah, that kid didn't buy any of those. Somebody supplied them to him. and every one of them was brand new. Every single weapon he had was brand new, name brand, top of the line, all of them. So when you do the math, you're looking at over $28,000 in weapons alone, not counting the ammo. And I know they're that expensive. That's why I build some of my own. Because I can buy the parts and build them a whole lot cheaper than going and buying them. Now I didn't go really cheap. I didn't go that cheap on the last AR I built because I figured I wanted a good lower and upper receiver that could withstand the pressures over a period of time. And I went for the best possible barrel and chamber that I could, which is an FN barrel and chamber. So even if the lower receiver and upper receiver were not going to last as long as the barrel and chamber, that barrel and chamber will last forever. And that's the only thing that really matters, because all those other parts can easily be replaced. That barrel and chamber will outlast everything in that rifle many times over. So the barrel and chamber was my most expensive in this last AR that I built. I think and even at that, I still built it for about $2,600, maybe a little less. Now the AR that I built before that one, I decided I was going to do a budget build, and I was going to build it as cheap as possible. I was going to find the cheapest parts possible. So I shopped around from state to state to state to state while I drove around the country, and I collected the parts all over the country, from discontinued lines, from returns, from, stuff on sale, stuff like that. By the time all was said and done and I had put it together and took it out and fired it the first time, I only had $230 into that weapon. It only cost $230 to build an AR-15. Granted, the barrel and chamber on it only lasted about 500 rounds. As soon as I'd put 500 rounds through it, it wasn't really on target no matter what you did anymore. Also, the lower receiver had started to wear apart. A lot of things could have easily broke and become unusable very quickly after 500 rounds in that particular weapon. So, that being said, yes, you can build one that cheap, but will it last that long? No, it won't. But it will last you. If you were in a wartime situation, it would last you long enough to pick up a better weapon that might be laying on the ground. And just because you can build them cheap doesn't mean you can get them easily. You still have to file the background check and all of that for the lower receiver. Nothing works without the lower receiver. Yep. Good night, Elaine. And thank you very much. I appreciate it. Just so you know, as it is, I'm going to have to sell off some of my Second Amendment toys. I'm going to have to sell off some of them so that I can buy a second vehicle, because I'm not going to take the only vehicle we have as a family away from my wife and kids, because my wife has a job, my kids are now driving, and I'm going to need a vehicle to get to and from work. So I'm going to have to sell off quite a few of my little firearms. So, and hope I can get at least a semi-decent vehicle that can last long enough till I've got some good money rolling in. And you know, I think I'm going to call it a night, because I'm tired. I know you guys are tired. Some of you are all the way over on the East Coast, and if it's what time is it? It's 9:20 here, so it's like 1:20 in the morning over there on the East Coast, right? Or no, 9 to 10 to 11 to 12. So it's like 12:20 over your time. So yeah, you're at midnight. Y'all should be in bed, and I should be hitting the bed too, because I got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So y'all have a good night. Freedom on. Keep pushing for freedom. Keep trying to get everybody around you to help stand up and move in the right direction. And as always, remember, we will no longer be silent. Good night.